Did you know that the LEGO Group, in collaboration with Nintendo, has recently filed a cease and desist against the oldest video game preservation website on the internet? In 2024, it feels like every major game company is trying to follow down the path of Nintendo, a company that, while responsible for some of the most beloved game series and franchises in general in the entire industry, is also a company that will freely cease and desist countless individuals spending years of their lives making fan projects for completely free without a second thought. Now, of course, Nintendo has been infamous for this for a long time, but what about companies like LEGO, or Valve, or Sony? Things have just really come to a head this year when it comes to degrading consumer trust in all of their projects, so let's talk about it. Alright, so that all sounds pretty bad, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. On June 6th of 2024, Nintendo banded together with Sega, the LEGO Group, and the Entertainment Software Association to remove dozens of games from Vimslayer, a emulation and game archival site that is actually the oldest on the internet. Now, the way that this website works is that you can visit it, download a ISO file for whatever game that you want to play from the Atari 2600 to the Wii, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360, and if you have a emulator to play games for any of these consoles, then you would be able to play them for completely free. Now, many may use this for piracy, and in some cases it definitely was used for that. Take, for example, the LEGO Batman trilogy of games, which could be purchased freely on Steam for $20, and even $5 during certain sales. Now, if you were to download them from here, I feel like that's a cut-and-dry case of piracy, so of course LEGO took it down. But on the other hand, if you have a game like Super Mario Galaxy 2 that was only produced on one system, the Wii, and sold by itself from 2010 to the console's discontinuation 3 years later in 2013, well, that's it. You can't go and buy a new copy directly from Nintendo. You have to look for one that was produced in this 3-year time span between 2010 and 2013. So, if you want to buy a virtual copy, well, what options do you have then? So, the Wii U, which had emulated versions of countless classic Nintendo games for sale on its eShop, it had all of its services shut down in March of this year, so that's no longer an option. As for Nintendo Switch Online, a monthly subscription service that lets you connect your console to the internet and comes with about 100 old games, well, it's basically replaced the old eShop, but the problem is that you can only get games released up until the Game Boy Advance, a console that was released in summer of 2001. You can't get Super Mario Galaxy here, you can't even play Super Mario Sunshine, because that is a GameCube game. But that's okay, maybe the game that you're looking for is a bit more classic, so Pokemon, why not? The problem is that, while yes, you can play the virtual trading card game, you can't play Red, Blue, Green, or Yellow, or any other mainline Pokemon game, because they are not games that are specifically being emulated by the Nintendo Switch Online service. You have to play the remakes, and these remakes are known to fundamentally change core mechanics from the original games. So, if you want to play the originals, you have one option: buy them from a third-party seller for the same price as a brand new release. Not to mention, if you don't have one of these prehistoric consoles, you're going to have to fork over quite a pretty penny, usually in the hundreds of dollars. And, by the way, none of this money is actually going to Nintendo to support them financially. They're not making a cent from any of these transactions, but they still took down every single Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and Pokemon game from Vimslayer. That's tough, buddy. But what about Pikmin, the game series that is notorious for getting poor sales and can be purchased directly from Nintendo because they re-released the entire franchise onto the Nintendo Switch within the past 3 years?
No. Nope.
And don't get me wrong here, I absolutely love Pikmin 2. It's a fantastic game, and it has one of the best modding scenes on the internet for old Nintendo games outside of maybe Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time.
Why are we committing genocide? Because the answer is money.
Of all of these games that you would want to take down, wouldn't the game that needs sales to keep the franchise going, and also literally just got re-released, wouldn't you want to take that down? But no, they didn't. They focused on their golden boys, being Pokemon and Zelda and Metroid and Mario. Most of these games that haven't had actual releases in the past decade or more, multiple decades in some cases. The problem here is that without the emulated sections of the Wii or Wii U eShops, which would allow customers to continue playing their games even after the online services shut down, provided they downloaded them beforehand, the games that are included with Nintendo Switch Online are only yours as long as you're willing to pay for the service. Also, because games are being added in bulk with the introduction of their console to Switch Online, it makes re-releases of old games from later consoles, such as the GameCube with Pikmin 1 and 2, a major ordeal, one that comes with a premium. Alright, so that all sounds pretty bad, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. Valve is the most recent company to show this darker side. After shifting their focus away from the beloved Team Fortress 2 in 2018, the game has been rendered borderline unplayable as a result of losers on the internet dedicating entire servers to running robots that load into lobbies, headshot everyone on either team until the lobby is dead, and then they leave and go to another lobby to do the exact same thing.
Alright, queued up for casual. Let's see how long it takes to find bots. Let's see.
Now keep in mind, while they're doing this, they're directing harassment campaigns to YouTubers who call them out on their actions, and in one case, one bot hoster called in a literal bomb threat to the university of a YouTuber talking about the issue online. Yes, under his real name, so that, well, guess what, the police got called to his house with, one could only imagine the intent to get this poor guy killed. That's the only reasonable reason why somebody would do this shit. Or to get them arrested at the very least. It's ridiculous. And while Valve's game crumbles under the weight of these horrendous, degenerate human beings being just engaged in completely illegal activities, such as using voice changes to impersonate random YouTubers online and say horrible stuff through the use of AI-generated, voice changes, Valve has sat atop their throne and done absolutely nothing, because guess what, they're a technology company now. But that's alright because they're releasing a new game called Deadlocked, and according to early playtesters, it's just Dota, Team Fortress, Counter-Strike, and Overwatch put in a blender, and that's your game. But they already own 3 of those 4 IPs, why not just release a new installment in any of those beloved franchises, or work to keep the games that are actively being attacked by bots, because this problem has spread to Counter-Strike as of recent, with Counter-Strike 2 being released, this problem has spread to there, but Valve still hasn't done anything to address the situation, or to crack down on these bot hosters, or at least nothing meaningful or permanent, and it's ridiculous. They haven't even, filed a cease and desist or something, because Valve, much like Nintendo, will take down completely free fan games that again aren't making any money, but will ignore the fact that there are people actually doing illegal stuff on their servers, and they're just fine with it. They just haven't put their foot down or anything. They're just like, yeah, I don't see any problems here. Yeah, we love this game as much as you do. Let's do some cool stuff. They put out an update to Team Fortress 2. Keep in mind, it's solely added stuff that the community made for the game that they love, and then it's been radio silence since. They haven't really done anything to address the bot situation. They've continued pumping out cosmetics that are, again, being created by the community for the game. That, yeah, the creators of these hats do get paid by Valve, but at the same time, they're using the community as a workforce to profit off of a game that's currently, it's being milked into the grave. And so, over the past 2 years, initially with Save TF2 in the summer of 2022, and now in 2024, Fix TF2, which the community literally just wants to see the game playable again, and for Valve to get rid of the bots, but of course it's more convoluted than just that, because they effectively have to rewrite their entire anti-cheat, or at the very minimum, hire somebody to continue updating their anti-cheat and what software it actually blocks. But because it's considered treadmill work by Valve, they do not want to engage in it at all. And as a result, their game is currently getting dislike bombed on Steam, and just about everyone on the internet has made a video discussing the entire situation. And this is me adding to that pool about 2 weeks later than everyone else. But it doesn't matter because Valve still hasn't responded, so if you have a YouTube channel, bro, or a Twitter account, start tweeting, start posting videos. The community should not let this die out. We need to keep putting our foot on the pedal to get Valve to finally do something about their game that apparently they love, but they've also kind of done nothing for the past 5, 6, 7 years since Jungle Inferno. But this goes with everything in life. These have only been the 2 most recent situations of big companies being absolutely horrible this year. Sony and Battlestate Games have already burnt away their goodwill with the consumer. Sony made Helldivers 2 literally unplayable in one case to paying customers in some regions by forcing them to sign up to PlayStation Plus, which isn't available all over the world, so if you already owned Helldivers 2, then, well, now you couldn't play it because you couldn't make an account. As for BSG, my friend group has probably spent upwards of $1,000 on Tarkov between 2021 and 2023 for the Edge of Darkness edition, a version that costed an extra $100 and acted as a way to support the devs, while also granting the player a season pass, which would let them get all future DLC for free. After they took EOD off sale though, they released another DLC called Unheard of Edition, which costed $250, 100 more than Edge of Darkness, called the Unheard Edition, along with a offline co-op mode that definitely didn't already exist as a community-made mod that has since been taken down by Battlestate's legal team. And also, in case you're wondering, no, YouTubers talking about this mod definitely haven't gotten their videos taken down on the subject. That would be ridiculous. Who would do such a thing? Regardless, with all these situations in mind, it's not surprising that nostalgia has recently blown up in the 2020s, but at the end of the day, settling for a glorified version of the past will only get you so far. Battlestate initially called the co-op edition not a DLC, but this statement was quickly retracted when the entire internet jumped on board to call out Tarkov's shady decision-making. Thanks to the Internet Archive, the community was able to prove that BSG was being downright shady. The Internet Archive has recently been forced to remove 500,000 books from their service due to a legal battle with a gigantic publisher, and while this definitely sucks, at the end of the day we have to remember that the power is in the people here. If you don't like the direction that your favorite company is going, then you can't just vote with your mouth, you must also vote with your money. And more so, you have to spread the word. So, while you're out there doing that, how about you share this video around too if you'd like, huh? And remember that this is all just my opinion, so let's hear yours in the comments down below.
Is that an oath scope?
Thanks for watching.
Ready.